we would like to introduce you to our Earth medium, Carolyn Page, who will guide you through the process of freedom from fear. We have much to say, as does our dearest Carolyn. May you join us in the journey your soul has intended for you. Indeed, dear ones, as promised, we shall write about, and our dearest Carolyn shall speak about why we project ourselves into a fantasy that guarantees negativity as its basis. Yes, indeed, dear hearts, this is what we do and have been doing for millennia. We project our thoughts, our communal thoughts, our complex thoughts, our ordered thoughts, our joint effort, one may say, into a concerted, orchestrated, and defined intermingling that creates whatever was our envisaged agreement. And this we do for all the fantasies we have created for our enjoyment. Did we say enjoyment? Indeed we did, dear hearts. Indeed we did. Do you not think that we, you and I and Carolyn, and all that you see, would not enjoy our creations? On the surface, dear ones, this may appear to be the truth of the matter, and previous to the creation of the earth fantasy, or experience, this was certainly the truth. We created worlds of magical experiences, full of joy and wondrous happenings, where we could, within a physical form of a type, enjoy the delights of touch, movement such as flying, sensuous feelings of lust, and all physical freedoms. We must remind you, dear heart, that as a consciousness we are bodiless. That's right, dear one, we do not have a body. Therefore, we created imaginings or fantasies that are dreamlike to us, where we can, to an extent, enjoy physical matter. Think upon this, and you may be able to imagine our true state of being, and why we enjoy our projections. Consciousness equates to thinking, yes. Being conscious equates to the ability to think. Thinking is a wonderful pastime. However, it is limited in the sense that it cannot produce a physical reality, only a mental reality. We, over time, began to appreciate the need for creating physical realities where we could, in a pseudo-fashion, enjoy the dreamlike reality of a physical expression. And this is precisely what the majority agreed upon. From that moment forward, we put our heads together, so to speak, and formulated the plan. And what was that plan? The plan, dear hearts, was to create a pseudo-experience or experiences that would, for all intent and purpose, be a true experience for the experiencer. The ultimate goal, dear ones, was to create pseudo-experiences that, to the experiencer, would be beyond question as to its truth. And in this we are and have been enormously successful. However, back to the original intent of this episode, which was to inform you, dear heart, of why we project ourselves into a fantasy of negativity. Indeed, why? This we do for many reasons, dear one. Firstly, it was suggested that we needed a fantasy into which to project ourselves in order that we never forget our beginnings of angst, fear, isolation, and separation. Yes, indeed, dear heart, our beginnings were abominable, to put it gently. Indeed, many did not survive. Many chose to remain isolated and miserable. This is certain death to a consciousness. Indeed, many continue to isolate and remain in abject misery. However, this tale is for another day. Did we say that life for us in the beginning was abominable? Yes, indeed we did, dear heart, indeed we did. And just as you, within the fantasy, have created times of remembrance, so too did we, as above, so below. Yes, dear one, much of what you create is a parody of our lives as consciousness, another aspect of the earth fantasy to mimic our earliest beginnings. Every soul who has ever and is now within the fantasy is recreating an aspect of our earliest beginnings. There are those here within the fantasy for the purpose of overcoming our innate negativity. Oh yes, dear hearts, our core is one of great negativity. This being the reason behind all fantasies, to circumnavigate and keep at bay our innate core of negativity. Did we not say, dear one, that we are here to dispel all myths? Indeed we did. And our dearest Carolyn has agreed to be our channel for the truths to become the norm. Our core, dear hearts, is one of great negativity. Those of us who choose to exist in comfort and with love to guide us, enjoy the remembrance to be gained within the earth fantasy. Those of us who, at first, were repelled by the idea of such a fantasy, now enjoy each and every experience we share. The earth fantasy has become a much loved and welcomed aspect as our lives, as consciousness. That is, those of us who have overcome our innate core enjoy our time, so called, within the fantasy. Not quite so for those who have yet to fully overcome. Those who have yet to fully overcome their innate core of negativity, can be seen in those arenas of life where hardship, death, and destruction are the norm. Yes, dear brave hearts, negative experiences are the means to eventually overcome our innate negativity. This seems a contradiction, does it not? Yes, indeed, dear ones, a contradiction it does appear to be. Yet we have over and over again proved that by experiencing negativity gives the opportunity for a successful end. The successful end is one that proves itself valuable in the extreme. Opportunities to overcome abound when we experience a negative state. We can either swim, as the saying goes, or we can sink. And sink we do, many times over. Slowly, though, success dawns, and we become free of the core of negativity that we are all subject to. You may even now be overcoming a negative state in your life. However, dear hearts, we do not wish to confuse. Should you be reading and or listening to our podcast, it will only be because you are one of those within the fantasy to create love and freedom from fear. Yes, dear one, you will be as one here to raise the vibrations by slowly and circumspectly perfecting yourself. And what do we mean by perfecting yourself? We do not speak of a physical perfection. No, dear heart. We speak of a mental perfection that creates freedom from fear. This is the perfection of which we speak. Freedom from fear is your goal. This can only be achieved by experiencing negative conditions and overcoming them. And this, dear one, is precisely what you and I and Carolyn have done many times over. We have experienced negative experiences and we have overcome. A parody, as we have said, of our earliest beginnings. We shall leave this here, dear heart, and continue this subject in our next episode. Many blessings, dear heart, many blessings to all.